Hello and welcome back to Farawa. Today we'll be doing some Goblincore crafts. If you haven't already seen, we have a video on Goblincore outfits you might like to check out, linked above. First off, we're doing a plant display. We got this frame at Marshall's for $1 or $2 on clearance, but if you have any old frames in your house or at the thrift store, those are great as well. And you can choose any frame you want. I just wanted to try this with glass on both sides. Pick out some pressed plants you like. I chose some buttercup, ferns, and dragonfly wings I found on a hiking trail. In a normal frame, choose a background like printer paper, old-fashioned paper, or colored paper, and simply arrange your plants. But for this one, since it slides, it took a bit more arranging to fit everything into place. But once it is set, how you like it, you're done. I think it looks really pretty, and it is currently on my shelf where it catches the light in the morning. Next up is a little difficult. We're making a mushroom plushie. I used a sewing machine, but I bet you could sew it by hand. I started off cutting a circular piece of fabric. I didn't do any measurements, but I'd guess it's about 1 foot in diameter. Then I cut out some white circles to be the spots on the mushroom. Next, I sewed the spots on the circle, but I'd advise you to actually put the spots on last, and you'll see why later. Next, I pulled in about 1 inch or so of fabric to fold on what will be the inside, like pleats. I did 4 of these, like a plus sign. I sewed each of them from the inside like very thin triangle slivers. Now you can see it is a bit more like a dome or pyramid. So the only reason you'd want to put the spots on later is because I accidentally sewed a few of them into the folds and they're harder to see. Next, to make the mushroom base, I just took a large rectangle of fabric, folded it over, and sewed it up the side the long way. Then I folded one end of the rectangle into 4 folds like before and sewed them shut. I cut a white circle a little smaller than the red one and cut a hole in the middle about the size of the tube. Then I very carefully sewed the tube onto the circle and then the red circle onto the white circle, but leaving a little space open so I could flip it right side out. I put some rice in the base and stuffed the top with stuffing. I sewed the hole closed. I sewed a lace hem just beneath the mushroom top to be the frill, because this is a poisonous one. And then put the needle through the top and through the bottom a few times, pulling tight to make the top sort of pull into itself in certain places. Now we're making some button rings. Take some buttons, wire, and an object about the width of your finger, like a marker. Put the wire through the button and start twisting it around the marker. Wrap the end away and it's done. Another very Goblincore thing is crystals. I wrapped some of mine in wire to make them into necklaces. Then there's also an acorn necklace that I made in the video linked above. Next up are button earrings. An easier and neater way is to simply use jump rings, but the wires make it look more goblin-y, I guess. Take some earring tops and wrap the wire through the hole, twist it, and put it through the buttons. Since I just got my ears pierced, I can't wear these yet, but this is what they look like. Now we're making more earrings. Grab any little charms you like, some earring backs, and pliers. I opened up the little loop at the bottom of the earrings and put a charm through. If that's not enough space, you can simply add jump rings. Then, once the charm was through, I closed the loop. It's that simple. Next, we're making button earring studs instead of dangly ones. Some stud earrings with a flat side, earring backings, glue, and buttons. Here is my dad helping me out.
Bob Smith Industries Incorporated, quick cure, epoxy. But many companies make epoxy. There's a whole bunch of different kinds. Okay, I do a little line of this goop. So I can physically see how much goop there is there, you see that? And now, I'm just going to, with this one, make an equal line. And that will give me an equal amount of the two. You really have to have this stuff mixed so that you don't have some parts that are not mixed, because if they're not mixed, they won't cure the back of this. Now, normally I would have a lot, but I don't want to have too much because I don't want to go through the holes. I've got about 5 minutes of working time, so once I get them all on, I can make sure everything is straight. Whereas epoxy, the two different chemicals react with each other and they form almost like a piece of plastic. And epoxy is used to build boats, like fiberglass for sailboats uses an epoxy resin, and it makes a very good glue. See, it's just a tiny bit soft still, but it's really already started to set. And of course you couldn't work with it anymore.
After the glue is dry, here's what it looks like. Another easy Goblincore thing is to keep things you collect from nature in boxes or containers. I collect feathers I find on the ground, and have quite a few now. I also display them in small bottles for vases. Next up, we're making a Goblincore display jar. All you have to do is get a jar, whatever size you'd like, and fill it with your Goblincore collection, like pine cones, acorns, rocks, and the like. You can also display pretty rocks you find in a glass jar as well. My mom got me this from a tag sale. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got inspired. Subscribe to see all the crafts we do in the future, and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And check out my Etsy, MothAndFoxShop, linked in the description to see if there's anything you like. There's quite a few Goblincore stickers on there, and more to come. My Instagram and Farwa's Instagram will also be linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, have a wonderful day, and see you in the next video.